Hello, welcome back. Friend of mine messaged me earlier and he asked, what do I need to do to stop being rubbish at chess? Well, that wasn't the words he used, actually. It's a friend of mine, a guy called Rene Butler. So, unlike me, he's not a chess bum. He's got like a normal job. What do you need to do to stop being rubbish at chess? I'm kind of wasted on chess, by the way. I feel like I should do more, but the thing is, people only respect me for my chess views, so I'm going to try, because I'm a Grandmaster, right? That's the only reason. If I was like a 1700, no one would listen to me. But I'm a GM, so people are gonna. I could say I'm like the sort of like chess equivalent of Donald Trump. I could stand in sort of like Times Square and shoot somebody, and no one's gonna do anything. So I could say anything to you, and you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, he's a GM. Yeah, it must be true, right?" Okay, so what are the three things I think you need to do to become like a better player? Yeah, it's difficult because, in my opinion, there's a lot of advice out there on the internet, online, and is trying to give you like a magic bullet, right? But the reality is, to be good at anything, doesn't matter whether it's chess or anything, you got to put a lot of hours in. Now, no disrespect to Rene, but he hasn't done chess like full time like I've done it. So if he just spent his early years doing chess intensely, he probably would be as good as I am now, if not better. Um, so that's really the main reason. That's what you got to do to be good at chess. You got to do a lot of hard work. And that is why juniors tend to improve quicker than adults, is mainly they got the time to do it and they got the motivation. Possibly their brains are more able to absorb the information, but it's mainly because they're just, they haven't got like a time management issues that adults tend to have. They don't have to juggle like a job. And once you get older, one of the things I noticed about the Olympiad, right, which I thought was quite interesting, was I think there were five or six new GMs, all male, by the way. There weren't any new women GMs, which is a shame. Like full GMs. I mean, there were WGM norms made at the Olympiad. Anyway, but out of those five or six players who got awarded a title at the FIDE Congress, I think only one of them was born before 2001, 2002. So most of them were very young. Like two of them were like 15, 16, 17. Treyas was one. So that says to me that once you get past a certain age, it just becomes harder and harder to achieve what you want to do. So I think the main thing is hard work. You got to work hard. You got to have the time to work hard. So find the time in your busy schedule. Okay, number two, what would I say is the main thing to improve at chess? Um, I try and center my face. I've got a bit of a double chin, unfortunately. Maybe I need to go on Ozempic, to lose a bit of weight or give up my Greg's addiction. Yeah, I could become sponsored by Greg's, how to like destroy your life by just eating processed food. So probably number two would be diet, right? Maybe number two. But I think number two is getting into the right frame of mind, because one of the things I noticed recently is I try to put myself under less pressure. And when you prepare, people are obsessed about preparing for the opponent, right? So you prepare for your opponent. I think it's more important to prepare yourself. So I think that's very important. When you're preparing for a game of chess, prepare yourself to get into the right frame of mind, go for a walk, get some physical exercise. Um, so I would say that's number two, is really, thinking in the right way and trying to be in as relaxed frame of mind as possible, and don't get affected when things go wrong. And also I would say just don't take draws, like don't take draws, just fight every game. If you fight every game, you're not going to have any regrets. If you start taking draws and then you mess up in the tournament later, you're going to have regrets. So that's also going to get you in the wrong frame of mind. So you got to have that kind of fighting attitude when you play. I would say number three to improve. I mean, by the way, I'm making these up as I go along, as you could probably guess. Number three to improve, as I have no idea actually. What's number three? Let me think. Number three would be get a liposuction on my chin. Now, number 3 would be. I wish you're doing a funny accent, like a South African accent. Well, Gary Player would say, Gary, when he first came out on the circuit, he went to St Andrews. He played the Open Championship at St Andrews and basically couldn't get a hotel. So I had to sleep on the beach. Jack said to me the next day when we had a practice round, he said, why are you sleeping on the beach, Gary? I said to him, look, Jack, that's all I want to do is play golf for a living. All I want to do is play golf. Anyway, number 3 would probably be, get a hotel is probably a good one. I would say number 3 is analyze your games, because there's too many people who just sit there all day playing blitz games. Now, it's fine for juniors because they're absorbing a lot of information very quickly. But I notice with a lot of adults, they don't sort of like absorb that information as well. And essentially, you're not learning from your mistakes. So I've said number 3, actually more than analysing your games is learning from your mistakes. Because if you analyse your games, you're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to look at your games. One of the things I noticed, I talked about this when I did the commentary of the British Championships, is the British Championships that I played over the years, I didn't really learn from my mistakes. And if I'd have gone away and say, like when I lost to Jonathan Rowson in 2004 in Scarborough, if I'd have gone away and looked at that game and looked at the approach that I took, when I failed in 2002, Ramesh won. If I'd have looked at what went wrong in 2015, I came very close. If I'd have looked at all those reasons and sort of put together a battle plan and actually sat down and worked hard, then I probably would have actually achieved a lot more and I would have won like a British Championships. Possibly I've still got a chance in the future. But I would say, and obviously how you get better and how you learn from your mistakes is often by analysing your games, but also by analysing your approach. So I would say that's very important as well. But it all comes down to working hard, right? Especially if you're a professional player. The problem that I have and probably have going forward is I don't work hard enough. When you talk about professional players, I read a biography of Stephen Hendry recently, which I mentioned a few times. And when he first turned professional, his manager, Ian Doyle, said to him, look, you've got to treat this like a full-time job. There's no messing about. You've got to get up, get to the snooker room at 9 a.m. in the morning, and you've got to practice all day. Even if you get bored, you've got to do that every single day, day in, day out. And that's what you got to do to get to level Steve Davis. And that's what he did. And that's how he got to world number 1 and world champion several times. If he hadn't done that, he might have won 1 or 2 world champions just based on his pure ability alone, maybe 2 or 3. But he wouldn't have had the career that he did. So most of it comes down to working hard. Why are super GMs and GMs like me, mediocre GMs? Well, mainly the reason, the biggest difference is the super GMs, they're possibly more talented, but they also work harder. Most super GMs, 2700 plus, they're working several hours a day on chess. I'll tell you the truth, most GMs at my level do not work. Some of us, we do almost nothing in terms of I'd probably just bum around most days. I try to do 2 or 3 hours if I can, but even that's a struggle. And it's 2 or 3. If it is 2 or 3 hours, it's 2 or 3 hours me sitting there playing random games or playing some stupid puzzle game, puzzle chess, like Puzzle Racer on Lead Chess or something like that. So I think those are the 3 things. It really comes down to hard work. If you want to be good at chess, you got to work hard at chess. There's no shortcuts. Unfortunately, I wish there was. I wish there was a magic bullet. I do courses, and if you do an opening course, an opening book, people will pester you and they'll say, what about this line? You haven't put this line in. They're expecting you to hold their hand. I can't hold your hand. You got to do the work yourself. People go on about coaching. Coaching isn't really that important. It's about what you put in. Coaching this, coaching that. Coaching is really not that important. It might be 5% or 1% of the battle. The main thing is you're putting in the work yourself. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Please leave your comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm talking rubbish? Most people who comment on my videos tend to think I'm talking rubbish, but those are my thoughts. as I said, the main thing that separates a mediocre GM like myself, I don't even think it is raw talent. Yes, it is in some cases. I mean, I couldn't possibly compare my talent to someone like Magnus Carlsen or Gukesh or Garry Kasparov, but I think with most stronger GMs, it's because they're working hard on chess. They're very, very dedicated and they're spending several hours a day. If you do that, look at Bobby Fischer, what he achieved just through a hard work ethic. And that is my thoughts. So yeah, please leave your comments down below and thank you for watching the video.